What is going on, guys? It's Max or Thunder here. Welcome to my first Battlefield 1 video, but this isn't going to be like a normal Battlefield 1 video where I kind of just sit down and talk a little bit. This is a special video for me, because I watched a video like this 3 years ago when Battlefield 4 was in beta, and well, needless to say, I've been a huge Battlefield fan ever since. So I decided to make a video like this because I realized that with a beta like this, we probably have a lot of new people coming to the Battlefield community that have never played before. Free and early access to the new game, it probably brings in some new people that are just kind of curious about how Battlefield works. So I thought I would do my part and make a video for all the noobs out there that have never played Battlefield before, that are just getting welcomed into the community. By the way, welcome. And just kind of teach you everything that I think you need to know right when you log onto Battlefield. And this is based off my personal experience, just kind of playing Battlefield throughout the years. Like I said earlier in the video, I've been playing for about 3 years since the Battlefield 4 beta. I didn't think it was just a cool game. I really did fall in love with Battlefield, and I still love Battlefield to this day. Okay, so before we get started, I would just like to say I am also new to Battlefield 1, because they have changed a lot from Battlefield 4 and 3. Mainly the layout right here. Some of the mechanics are different in-game, but you guys don't really care about that because you're noobs to the Battlefield series. Okay, so this is the first thing you see when you log into Battlefield 1, and then you go into multiplayer, and this mode right here is Conquest. This is kind of the traditional Battlefield mode. This is kind of the stereotypical Battlefield mode. It's on a very large scale. This is the mode with vehicles. It has 64 players, and it's basically like a giant game of domination. All you have to do is capture the flags, and your points will count up. I'm not really sure what the score limit is, but that's pretty much how Conquest works. It's pretty simple, just a giant game of domination with lots of people and vehicles. And then this mode right here is Rush. Basically, in Rush, they split the maps up into things called sectors. You have to destroy 2 objectives at one point, and when you destroy those 2 objectives, you get to move up to the next 2, and then if you've destroyed all of the objectives on the map, you win. And obviously the defending team has to kill the attacking team and stop them from destroying the objectives. I think they're called telegrams in this game. I'm not really sure. They were called MCOMs in Battlefield 4 and 3. And basically what the attacking team is going to do is it's going to run up to the MCOM or telegram in this game, and it's just going to plant a bomb on it, and that bomb is going to have a timer. If it doesn't get defused in time, it will blow up, and that's how the objective gets destroyed. And then this right here, you don't really need to worry about this. This is a server browser. Basically what you can do is you can set up filters. It's pretty much useless on the beta right now. Basically what you would do with the server browser is you would use it as a way to find different maps and things you like. Maybe there's a special variation of a mode you like. For example, when I play Battlefield Hardline, I like to use the server browser because I like the 64-player TDM servers. So you don't really need to worry about that your first time logging on, because you're probably going to go with either Conquest or Rush. So you're going to take your pick. I'm going to pick Rush right now. So that does it for the extreme basics. Now, let me talk about the classes a little bit. So this first one is Assault, and this is, again, different from Battlefield 4 and 3. This class has fully automatic weapons, which is probably pretty similar to what you're used to. There's submachine guns and shotguns. They all have pretty poor range, and they're really just designed for close quarters. Obviously, you have a sidearm, but this class right here, Assault, this is the anti-vehicle class in the game. As you can see here, you have dynamite charges, you have an anti-tank grenade, an anti-tank mine, an anti-tank rocket gun, and then for Gadget 2, you just have the same thing. This class right here is the Medic, which is probably pretty self-explanatory. You get a semi-automatic rifle in this game. Basically, the role of this kit is to heal people. So you have a medical syringe, and basically, when people die, you can run over to them and bring them back to life using this. And you also have rifle grenades, which is kind of like a noob tube, and you have bandages, which you throw it, and when people sit on it, it heals them. This class right here is Support. Obviously, this has the machine gun, and basically the role of support is to go around and resupply people. So you have a tripwire bomb, and you have the ammo crate and the ammo pack, which, by the way, for everything, there's a big version of something and there's a little version of something. So for example, the ammo crate is simply placed down and it sits there, and everybody that goes near it gets ammo, whereas this, you kind of throw it at people and it sticks to them and it kind of resupplies them over time. And this right here is Scout, which again, like Medic, is pretty self-explanatory. This is the sniper. This is kind of like an anti-tank bullet. And then basically what you have is you have a spotting scope, and you have these 2 flare guns. And basically what a flare gun does is when you shoot it off, it will temporarily show everybody in your area on the mini-map. And I failed to mention what each of these classes does is basically all of these classes have different weapons, and they all have a different purpose that they serve on the battlefield. So I kind of mentioned it already. Anti-vehicle, healing people, giving people ammo / resupplying, and spotting people. That is obviously not everything you need to know about Battlefield. Now you're gonna jump into the game and you notice it looks very beautiful. It runs on something called the Frostbite engine. It is a very advanced engine. Okay, so one thing that's different about Battlefield from other first-person shooters is muzzle velocity, and basically what that means is, alright, so I'm gonna try to show you guys really quickly. You also notice that it goes at a certain speed, and basically what this is that guy is sitting still so I'm able to hit him. But say I wanted to hit something that was moving. I don't really have any examples of things that are moving right now, but because the bullet takes a certain amount of time to get somewhere, instead of just shooting right at it, you have to lead it so that the bullet will get there when the object is there. And then the other thing that's different about Battlefield is something called bullet drop. And basically what this is, the bullet travels in an arc. So if you're trying to shoot people at distances past what your gun is designed for, you're gonna have to compensate for bullet drop. So you're gonna have to aim slightly above the person in order for the bullet to drop down and actually hit them. Again, another thing, I don't really know too much about this, so I'm not really gonna talk about it too much, but apparently there's something in Battlefield 1 that's new for everybody called bullet drag, and basically what this is the bullets are gonna get slowed down over time. So if you shoot it, it will start off faster and then it will slow down over time. Again, I'm not really gonna talk about this too much. I don't really think it matters too much. Kind of take into heart what I said about muzzle velocity earlier and you should be fine. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to demonstrate it too well, so I'm definitely gonna switch my class. But basically, another thing that's different about Battlefield is the way the recoil is. In Call of Duty, most of the recoil is aesthetic for the most part. It doesn't really do anything to affect your aim, but in Battlefield, it's a very different story. In Battlefield, all of the guns have a certain recoil path. So for example, okay, so now that I have a fully automatic weapon, it's much easier to demonstrate the recoil. So as you guys can see, this gun, I think it's called the MP18, basically, like the other one, it kicks straight up. And as you guys can see, if I shoot it in full auto fire, that's pretty much where it goes. It goes up and slightly to the left. So basically, you're gonna want to drag down on your joystick a little bit to just kind of compensate for that. I didn't really do a good job there. I apologize. I was kind of holding the controller at a weird angle. But just practice it, and you'll get used to it. Just kind of like aim at a wall. And as you guys can see, it climbs up there. And you're going to want to try to compensate it so that it stays in the right place. Now, another thing about Battlefield, I'm pretty sure it's not very different from other first-person shooters. Battlefield has kind of a different accuracy thing. This is a stat that all of the guns have. It's called bullet spread. Basically, as you shoot guns over time, they're going to become less accurate. Which is why, especially with a fully automatic gun, basically, at ranges, you're going to want to do something called tap firing. Pretty self-explanatory. All you're going to want to do is just kind of tap on the triggers so that you fire short bursts at a time instead of kind of laying down on it. Like, if I was going to try to shoot this guy, I probably can't. Ooh, I actually hit him. See how I'm tap firing instead of just, like, trying to hit him with full auto? Because the bullet spread will go crazy too, and you just won't be able to hit him. Now, let me talk briefly about controls. I mentioned earlier that all the different classes have different roles. So basically here, Assault, you're going to press left on the D-pad, and you're going to pull out one of your gadgets. The specific things that enable the kit to do its role are called gadgets. You're going to want to press left on the D-pad to activate this one, right on the D-pad to activate this one. In this game, you press up on the D-pad to put on your gas mask. Basically, the only time you really need to do this is if you come under attack from a gas grenade. And then very few guns in this game have it, but almost every gun had it in Battlefield 4. There's also something called a fire mode, and if you press down on the D-pad on specific guns in the game, it's gonna select the fire mode. For example, if it starts off as semi-automatic, you press down on the D-pad to toggle the fire mode, it's now going to be fully automatic, and you can switch it. But that pretty much wraps it up for everything I think you guys need to know. Oh, one quick thing that I forgot to mention for you guys. There's a new mechanic in Battlefield that is completely unique to Battlefield 1, and it's called the bayonet charge. And basically, the way you toggle it is, you start sprinting, and then you press your melee button, and you're going to go into this bayonet charge, and you're going to notice you start screaming, you start running fast. If you stop holding sprint, you let go of it. But basically, the real purpose of this is you can use it to get out of a situation very fast, or you can use it to spear somebody. Very rewarding and very funny to spear somebody with the bayonet in this game. It's awesome. Just practice the things I said in this video. Get used to the recoil patterns, get used to the muzzle velocity and the bullet drop. One thing I really want to stress for all you noobs out there is don't give up. Battlefield is a hard game, it is a pretty complicated game, and it is definitely a hard game to pick up. But it is a very rewarding game if you actually stick with it. You kind of put in the time practicing, getting better at the game. You will enjoy it, I almost promise you. Battlefield is a very unique game full of very unique experiences, and it's very rewarding if you actually put in the time you need to learn this game properly. I mean, I got in a sniper battle while I was on horseback with another sniper that was on horseback earlier. I know it's kind of cheesy, and I know that EA's like tagline almost is only in Battlefield, but it really is true. There are a lot of things in this game that you can only experience in Battlefield. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I know it was a little bit different. I know that the people that kind of watch my videos regularly probably won't enjoy it very much, but it was really aimed at the people that are going to be coming into the Battlefield community from this beta, from trying out Battlefield. You guys have a very good opportunity every Battlefield cycle to try it out early and try it for yourself before you actually buy it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to leave a like if you did. Definitely do drop a sub to the channel if you are new, because I realized that a lot of people could be searching this topic, and that's why I decided to go ahead and make a video on it. Drop a sub if you're new to the channel. Anyways, guys, this is Max or Thunder. I'm out.